Today is the result of putting together sweet, spicy, beefy, oniony, red peppery into a sandwich. And the results, well, you'll just have to wait and see. Sweet and spicy skirt steak turned into an amazing sandwich. It's going to be off the chain. Or is it off the hook? Are there any other ones? The shit's going to be dope as
There you go.
said the elder statesman of the YouTube cooking community. But you're going to like this. It starts with a very simple, let me think now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 ingredient marinade that you'll be wanting to use for everything. Ready? Let's go. And I said sweet and spicy, and for the spicy component, we're using Chipotle peppers. Not sponsored, just the ones I buy. So, to remind you, they are large smoked jalapenos. And they're gorgeous. Look at, they're plump and they're tender and they're, it's creepy talking about these things like they're tender. So this is a 7-ounce can. Let's go for half a can. And as I've told you before, if you don't want the full heat that they have, which is not crazy, but definitely pretty good, you can use just the sauce in here that's called adobo sauce. Okay? There'll be less seeds in there. It won't be quite as spicy, so there you go. That's the spicy part. For the sweet part, we're using brown sugar, and we put about a half a cup in. That in my mind looks about like that. Okay? Okay, we're going to use about a bunch of green onions, like this, that I've trimmed down. I'm just going to make it easier for my blender. Chop them up a bit, and they'll go. Of course, we need a big pinch of kosher salt. And finally, because you need liquid, OJ, about a cup. Like that. And what would we say here, Max?
And we mix.
Actually, and we blend.
And we blend.
Got you. Lid on, down, off we go. You want one smooth blend of all the ingredients. There's absolutely no reason for this. I just like to play with it. When it's done, we get our steak. Skirt steak. It comes from the plate of the cow. So if this is the cow, and here's his head, it's from the sort of the lower belly part right here. You can totally get this from my description, right? From about here. And here is where it comes from, kind of down here. It's sort of in the same category-ish as flank steak, but not, and it's not the most tender cut by itself. So we're going to cut it thin when we turn it into the sandwich. But it's hugely beefy and amazing flavor. Here's what I like about it. The length. Now that's a piece of meat. All right, there's a piece of meat. I took my knife and I got rid of some of the excess fat. I could probably do a little bit more, but I'll be honest, I don't mind a little fat. What do we say? Fat is not this. We say fat is flavor. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our marinade and a Ziploc bag. And now not getting my beef hand on the Ziploc, we'll open this. I like to fold it a bit. It's a bit of a challenge with one hand, but I've done it because I don't want mess on the edge because it's hard to zip when it's so messy. Now I will take my marinade. I'm going to reserve a little bit for brushing after. This will go in. And then this long-ass piece of skirt, like this. In you go, in you go, in you go, in you go. And now I want to make sure it's all covered. So I'm going to turn it around. I could cut it into smaller pieces. That could be something that you would do, but I like the look of the whole big-ass thing grilling all at once. And the smell is fantastic. You do get the spicy. You do get a little sweet from the brown sugar. But what it's going to end up being is all good. Okay. You now have one disgusting hand that you can't touch. You can't zip this up really like this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this inside. I'm going to clean this hand. I'm going to seal this up with most of the air out. I'm going to put it in my fridge. It's going to live there 45 minutes, an hour. Once again, if you got 3 hours, give it 3 hours. You're not going to hurt it at all. You're only going to make it better. Then I'm going to come back, get the rest of our stuff ready. And we'll continue. For the bottom of the sandwich, I want some vegetables. And that will become a combination of red peppers and yellow onion that I will soften a bit on the flat top. So we just have to cut these into thin strips, that into thin strips, get it going, and we're making our vegetables. Stupid. And then we continue on. And for today's precision work, I've chosen a pig gutting knife. I've just don't ask why.
Beast.
It's a beast, man. So here's what I like. I like to take the sides off. Yes, you can take this little membrane out. Won't kill you if you leave it. And then I like to just cut these guys fairly thin. So I imagine through the magic of television or the internet, what do you call it these days? You wouldn't say the magic of television anymore, Max. What would you say? Through the magic of editing?
Yes.
Through the magic of editing, Max will make this happen very quickly because you can get bored right out of your mind in about a second if all you saw was this. That's done, so I just want to cut them in half. Like that. They'll sit here, and now some onion. So I cut an onion lengthwise from top to bottom, like that. I leave the root so it doesn't fall apart. I cut there, I pull off the outside, and then when I've got it like this, I just cut like here. If it starts to get really wide here, just make a cut like that. Your pieces will be shorter and perhaps easier to deal with. When you've got your onions and your peppers ready, throw a little oil on the flat top. After I let my dog in, who's going, I'm coming for you, baby. Oh, you two. There's both of you here waiting? We're fucking hot, Dad. Let us in. Go on, boo. Go on. Little oil on the flat top, and on they go. And then over the next few minutes, these will soften and become magical. You don't need to jack with them too much. They just need to do their thing on the grill. Okay, these guys are ready, and they are in a state referred to as being still crisp, tender. There's some body and some crunch to them. Like, leave them long enough, and they'll become like shoelaces, right? Wibbly and blah, 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 which would be fine, but I want a little texture to them. So we'll take them off now. Off we go. These guys will now just sit while we get ready for the rest. Now we make a little sauce, and then we cook. Okay. I'm heating this to get ready for the grilling of the skirt. We always heat with the lid down. Lid down. Unless you don't have a lid, then it. Just heat it the way it is. But you're going to concentrate more heat inside, and that's what you want. You want those bars getting super hot. And at the same time, we're kind of cleaning off the leftover stuff from the last time we grilled. This is the time to do that. Not after you cook, before you cook the next time. And last, before we grill, we make a little sauce that consists of sour cream, a little, hello, Japanese mayo. Last but not least, green salsa, also known as salsa verde. You can buy it. You can make it. Hell, you can also buy it, and that's what I like to do. Now we mix. Creamy, thick, mayo-y, tangy from the sour cream, delicious from the salsa. These are great, simple ingredients to keep around the house for last minute anything. All right, let's check out our skirt steak. And there we are. It's all covered nicely. Been marinating away. This is a great thing to take to somebody's house when they're having like a barbecue or something. They go, hey, will you bring something? And they're expecting you're going to walk in with maybe some of that shitty pasta salad. Now, as I say that, I realize there's probably wonderful pasta salads that are being made out there. I'm just sorry. I've been to far too many parties where the backyard pasta salad was just like some mayonnaise and, I don't know, a little celery or something thrown in. Nothing exciting, nothing great added. Well, sometimes people go crazy and they use those tri-colored curly noodles. If I have one more bite of those fucking tri-colored curly noodles with a boring pasta salad blend in it, I'll just go nuts. But they won't be expecting this. You go walking in and they go, hey, what'd you bring? You go, sweet and spicy skirt steak. To be like, hey man, I already got hot dogs or whatever going. You go, hey, that's cool. I just thought when you're done, we could throw this on. Your shit will be better than their shit 95% of the time, unless they got some crazy ass tricks going on, or they're following some of our other recipes. And even if there's no bread or bun or sandwich or tortilla to put it in, just bites of this mounted up on a platter. You walk around and go, hey, you want to try this? You want to try this? People take a bite. You'll be the hit of the party. It works every time. Okay, so now we check and we look. And you look inside, and yes, it's boring, of course. Right now it's boring because nothing's happened to it. The goal is make it beautiful. And just before we throw the skirt on, we're going to cut our baguette because this is what I want to serve it on. Because it's a party sandwich for a bunch of people. Cut it into little pieces. Or two Cheech and Chong-like guys eat this at 4:20 in the afternoon. Probably 4:21 or 4:22. Anyway, for this, you need a good serrated knife. Serrated knife is for cutting bread, ladies and gentlemen. And tomatoes, that's pretty much all. So nice, neat cut all the way through. The goal is always one perfect cut all the way through. Oh. Nope. Yep. Look at that. Do you effing know how close that was?
How did that just happen?
How did I do that? That's your piece of bread right there, man.
Yeah, the bloody one.
God. Shit. I don't know how I did that.
We'll have to replay it.
Slow-mo?
Yeah.
Yes, well, I continue. Trying not to F myself up. Never went to culinary school. By the way.
You never got to attend that class on not cutting yourself?
Say, by the way, not that it would have necessarily made a difference. I know many really great chefs that do shit like this all the time. All the time. Fuck. Well, I did a pretty nice job. They're relatively even. I'm happy with this. So I'm just going to put a little avocado oil on this. Just let it sit, soak in a bit. And then when the steak comes off, we give it a little toasting. Okay? So just a little. And back. Beautiful. These two guys can live like that. You're going to get toasted in a sec. Now, to the steak. Let's go. So when you lift the lid, it's hot as F. But now you can see there's the remnants that have burned from the last time you cooked out here. So this is the time to clean it off. Before I throw on the steak, give it a little spray to keep things from sticking. And of course it makes that fire, which is amazing. Don't be scared. I've never seen the fire jump into the can. Don't be scared. I've never seen the fire jump into the can and blow up. I suppose there's a first time for everything, but I'm not to blame if it does. Grab an end, if you can find it. Here we go. Grab your end. Bring the kid up out of the bag slowly, and on it goes. Wow, that's impressive. Look, it's not thick. It is not going to take that long. But definitely what you want is some charring, because those little charred bits mean flavor's happening. If you take a look, that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly what you want. That is the flavor. What do we say? Well, we say fat is flavor, and this is less about that right now. But
heat changes things.
This is heat changes things.
We also say that.
We also say that. So you're going to be, honestly, like a couple of minutes aside. That's not much more than that. And when it looks like that, just give it a turn. Wow. It's going to be unbelievable, I'm telling you. I wish you could smell it, but remember that little bit of reserve sauce that we had? Let's paint it on. Clearly, somebody made off with my proper, like silicone, whatever it is. One is plastic, one is breast, and I'm not ever sure which one. But somebody made off with that brush, so I had to use a brand new paintbrush out of my garage. Which, you know, you do what you do in a pinch. Doesn't hurt to close it up a little bit while you're waiting. Let some magic happen inside. We're going for a lovely medium rare. If you poke your temperature probe in and it says 130, 131, 132, 133, 135, pull it off. We could check. Should we check? Let's check. I know it's not going to be there yet. In the thickest part, it's 106. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Change it up. Remember this? The wok grill pan that we used for vegetables that day and other things? Let's just do this. We'll put the vegetables back into here, and when the steaks come off and the bread goes on, we'll give these a quick warm-up. Now we check our steak. 133, perfect. 134, yes. We're coming off. Let's go. We let this rest. We deal with the bread. And while it rests, this is the perfect time to give it one more beautiful coat. Because it's hot, it'll just like suck in all the liquid and the flavor. And oh, for goodness sakes. Okay, we're almost there. Next thing, we'll throw the bread on. Get it toasty. Some marks. And we build. And here we go. Oh, it's hot. Damn it, it's hot. Don't burn. Piece of shit. Don't you burn my bread? Fucker. That guy's really asking for trouble, man. Thank you. Don't fuck with me. You fuck with me, I fuck with you. Just give it a little pressure to help get some nice color in here. Oh, I love you, bread. I love you. I love you. I love you. Nice. Hey, there we go. Beautiful. Okay, while those are finishing, just going to turn the heat off. Just let it get a little crispy on the bottom. We will slice our skirt steak. Okay, so here's the thing. You can see which way the grain runs. We've talked about it. You always cut against the grain because when you do, you shorten up those fibers and it's way more tender. You don't want pieces this long. That's ridiculous to eat. So we'll cut here and then see how we did. And you can't see how that is because it's got so much beautiful of this Chipotle sauce and stuff. So now we'll do this. And now we'll cut this way against, right? But before we do, we need to take a bite because it's going to be insane. Mother effer. If only you knew. The spice level is about a 6.5 because it's been brought down by the sweet of the brown sugar and that orange juice. The flavor profile of this is amazing. It's so good. Ah, that's what I'm telling you. You walk around with bites of this for people, they'll be like, oh, shit, I'm coming to your house next time. And maybe you don't want that, but if you do, this is the way to go. Okay, so let's keep slicing so we get enough for our sandwich. Okay, and you see medium rare there, right? And you want to go thin. The color clearly is being affected by all this delicious Chipotle and the brown sugar. And this little charring on the outside, folks, this is why you cook it on a grill. because that's where the flame is doing its best work. But we need to make enough for this whole thing. So, oh boy. Against. That's my Canadian. I think. Against. I think people say against. Is that what you guys say? It's not spelled against. Thin. That's what you want. I think we're there. So when you think you have enough meat for however big a sandwich you're going to make, and this looks pretty freaking good. Okay, so just before we build, let's get our vegetables back on the heat. Just bring them up to temperature a little bit. And while they're warming, we start to build. So this didn't look this beautifully medium rare when I was cutting it because all the sauce was dripping down and the dark of the chipotle and the brown sugar didn't expose this beautiful medium rareness. But we're ready now to build. We start with our bread. Next is our sauce. And what's the stupid line I use? Don't be cheap. And don't have your phone on when you're f***ing shooting, Sam. I need a bigger cutting board, man. We're only going to go sauce on one side, okay? Now our vegetables, let's see if they're warm yet. Lovely, huh? And on they go. Good call. Look, it's diversity of flavor. It's crunch. It's texture. It's color. It's flavor. Did I say flavor twice? It's everything. Could you... Oh, boy.
All right, let's put that on
I
silent.
better just put that stupid thing on silent. Somebody wants me real bad. Could you do this without the vegetables? Absolutely. Should you? Absolutely not. Why would you do that? Could you have put a bed of sauteed arugula on here? Yes. Mushrooms? Yes. Anything you want. Just do it. So this is a whole onion and one large red pepper. And look, it did the whole thing. The whole thing. Okay, now the steak. I think I cut enough. Mother effer. So how many people could this feed? Any idea? 4? 6? Could that be? 6?
I think easily.
I think so. It depends. If they're all like my wife, 10. Okay, I'm going to give it one last thing. I think I'm in good shape here. One last thing, some fresh ground pepper. And I know there's chipotle in this. This is not about the spice at this point. This is about the flavor of the pepper and what it adds, because I really love it. And, ladies and gentlemen, only thing left to do now, as we say in the business, put that freaking lid on. Oh, Lord, look at that. How'd we do, Max? So, holding steady. Look at it. I suddenly feel like Vanna White. You want a bite? You're not getting one. Yeah, he is. Just everything. There is so much at work here. It's unbelievable. And the first thing that hits you right in the face, make that mouth, is the crispiness of the bread. It's fantastic. It works. Could this be on soft? Yes. Does the crispy, crunchy exterior of the bread and the soft inside make it better? I absolutely believe it does. You get the spicy of the chipotle when it's done to the meat, the sweet, but also then the vegetables come and then that little green salsa verde sauce underneath with the sour cream, a little bit of this in the mayo. Meat's falling out. You have friends coming over? This is your play. I really think it is. Oh my effing God. Let me tell you something. We crossed over 1 million subscribers last night. It was the craziest moment. We celebrated at dinner last night, my birthday, which was the 7th, Max's birthday, which was the 6th, my anniversary, which was the 4th. The whole family, there's 7 of us. Max and his 2 brothers. There's 2 wives, and then there's me and Kelly. That's 7. We came in 3 separate cars to the same restaurant. We thought we would hit the million while we were at dinner. We didn't realize it would happen before dinner, so we said, let's get there early just in case. We were in traffic. They were in traffic. Max got to the restaurant second, couldn't find a place to park, left his car at the side of the road and jumped out and started recording from his phone to his laptop. Kelly and I drove up. Within 10 seconds of Kelly and I jumping out of the car, boom, it went over 1 million. And it went over 1 million in the craziest way possible. Sometimes you'll see the number and it will subtract 1, means somebody's unsubscribed. But watch what it does in the final seconds between 999,993 and then over 1 million. It's like it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. And I think people were unsubscribing and subscribing again so they could be the millionth person. We don't really have any way of knowing that. But what we know is this. You guys made it happen for us. We almost cried. It was honestly like one of the most fun celebrations ever. And this is all you guys. Thank you. We promised we're going to do something fun. We'll announce that in a week or so. And all of you that are here are going to be able to do it. What's the word?
Participate?
Not everybody.
Yeah. Have a chance.
Have a chance. Have a chance. Anyway, so thank you. Thank you. You've got the weekend ahead of you. If you're watching this on Friday, make this. It's the perfect weather for it. Have fun. Don't eat the same thing all the time. And we mean it from the bottom of our hearts. You guys helped us get here. It makes us want to give you better entertainment every time we shoot. And we hope we do that. And if you hate my guts, well, then you hate my guts. And then I hate your guts. So we're even.